Hey everyone, it's our Raditude show, and this is our 10th episode. And this is going to be sort of my last solo one for a while. And everything has been leading up to what I'm going to be doing starting in the next episode, where I'm going to start to have guests. But today we're going to talk about curiosity. We've talked about a number of different topics, from manifesting to visioning to, how you really make changes from neuroscience perspective. And I've been thinking about and reached out over the weekend. I went to my good friend Matt Morrow. He's now known as Vegas Matt. He threw himself his 60th birthday party in Las Vegas, and I went there. We had a great time. Didn't win any money, but saw two great comedians, one of which I didn't think I was going to enjoy, but I really did. It was Carrot Top. And I thought it was going to be stupid, but it was actually really clever and funny. And the other one is my favorite comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco, I think is his name. And I saw him at the Wynn Hotel in a big auditorium. Previously, I'd seen him twice at the Hollywood Improv, where I was maybe like 10 feet from him and paid $20 before he was famous. And now I guess he's kind of famous. He's got a movie out with Robert De Niro, and he played Caesar's Palace. The front row seats, I think, were $2,000 each. That's not where I was at. And but I just think he's the funniest dude in the whole world. But it got me thinking of reaching out to my friends that I think are living rad and loving contagiously and living a Raditude life in their own way. And the reason I wanted to reach out to them, and it was so surprising, I guess it shouldn't be, but it was surprising to me. I reached out to maybe 30 people, and I thought a few of them would respond and say yes. All of them did. I mean, literally every single one. Now I'm going to have a challenge with trying to schedule them all in, because I told them all the next few weeks, and I don't know that I've got enough time to be able to interview them. But one of the reasons I wanted to do this was, we've talked about this in the past, and you probably know this, is that you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And if I took these 30 people and I surrounded myself with them, and I kind of do, life becomes better. You become the average of all of them. And these people are super successful in all different areas of life. Whether it's with their physical body, whether it's in their emotions or their meanings or their time management or relationships or their purpose, their mission, their finances, or their spiritual contribution life. Those are the 7 elements that I use in my life plan. And so I think I have probably about 5 people in each of those categories that I follow. But I'm going to interview them starting in episode 11, and I'm going to ask them to share their story. But more importantly, I'm going to ask them how their mind developed to be able to do the things that they've done and are going to continue to do. And I want you to listen and really be curious. Be curious about, how did they do that? I want you to listen for it. If you want some clues on how to create your own Raditude life, whatever that means for you. Remember, you should be called Smithitude or Brownitude or Johnsonitude or whatever your name is. Don't use mine. That's just for me. I want you to customize your own special attitude. But I really want you to develop a curiosity around this and a curiosity about life. I actually sort of discovered, well, maybe I've been curious, but not like I met someone just a few years ago that was the most curious person I've ever met. It didn't matter what the topic was. They were just curious about it. And I found it so fantastic. I found it so uplifting. I found it so sexy. I go, gosh, I'm going to have to develop that. I want to develop that. And I have. Curious about life, about travel, about the body, about neuroscience. And I've gone inward and become more curious about, star seeds and channeling and religion and everything. I've just become curious about it. And so I wanted to talk about curiosity today because I think it's really something that's important in your development. And so I was thinking today, I was just showering before this session. I apologize for my sort of laryngitis, whatever that word is, hoarse, sexy voice. I've had a cold and just kind of getting over it, but I'm here and it's all good, right? But I was thinking my next trip that I'm going to be inviting you on is to Vietnam. We've almost got all the details finalized. It's going to be about a 10 or 11 day trip to Vietnam. Vietnam now, I had no interest in going there until my mom a few years ago said it was her favorite country in the world. And that just kind of stuck in my head going, I wouldn't think that Vietnam would be my mom's favorite country. She's been all over the world. My dad took her everywhere. He was really curious about the world. She went along because he asked her to go and always had a great time, but she never really wanted to go in advance. But she loved Vietnam. And I think we've got it scheduled for, what is it? I think it's around April 15th or 16th, somewhere around April 15th, because that's my son's birthday. I remember that I'm going to invite him to come. And I invite you to come. It's going to be, like I said, 10 or 11 days. And I'm sure there's going to be an opportunity for incredible curiosity on that trip. Just with the culture, the people, the things that we're going to see, the things that we're going to do, and the training that I'm going to provide, helping people go inward, helping people to figure out if you change your mind, you create new results, what you want those results to be. And like I've often mentioned, becoming conscious of your unconscious. That's the curiosity that I'm really into now, is figuring out, what am I thinking about? What am I doing? What am I feeling? And using that as my internal guidance system. I've really, really enjoyed that process and think it's one of the key things that I've never thought about. And like Abraham shares, that when you meet people and you observe them and you're triggered by them, you figure out what you don't want. And when you figure out what you don't want, you figure out what you do want. And maybe you run into people and you go, hey, that's an interesting characteristic, like curiosity. I ran into that person and I go, that's really cool. I want to develop that. I don't think I have a great amount of that. I probably do, but not like this person did, where they could look at a rock. There's a rock right over there and go, I wonder where that rock came from. How many million years old is it? Is it new? Is it lava formed? Did it fall from the sky? I mean, like things I've never thought of. Maybe they're important. Maybe they're not. I think one of the things that I saw, though, is they really helped the person vibrate high because the energy just rose. And like I've been talking about lately, that concept of vibrating high, I think is so important to really manifesting, to accomplishing your dreams and your visions as you vibrate at a higher and higher state. You attract things to you. That's the law of attraction versus the law of assertion that I've been doing most of my life, which seemed to work pretty good too, except when it doesn't, except when you find something better. And now I think I found that in the law of attraction. So anyway, I'm going to be inviting guests to come on and talking about them. And the first one's actually going to be Matt Morrow, Vegas Matt, my buddy who threw himself a 60th birthday party. And his mind is just out of the world. I mean, he thinks things that I never thought of. And it's really cool to be around him because he does vibrate very high. And he gives off this vibe and he tracks people. And he's just this networker. He was huge in the network marketing world. In fact, he's in the MLM Hall of Fame. Didn't even know there was one of those, but there is, and he's in it. I don't think he's really doing network marketing any longer, but now he's doing real estate and he's doing this Vegas map thing, which is really taken off, and it's kind of cool. He's got bodyguards and he's gambling all the time and winning money and losing money and just entertaining people and just having a great time. And he's doing what I think I learned maybe from him. Maybe it was from Tony, or he worked for Tony, so maybe that's where it came from. When you can do anything you want, anytime you want, anywhere you want, with anyone you want. And I think there's another any there, but you get what I mean. But you just go do what you want to do and have fun and vibrate high and continue to attract things to you. He's going to be my first guest, and I want you to really join in. And I want you to think about who are the 5 people that you surround yourself with? And are they helping you grow in the areas that you want to grow? And are there some people that maybe you should reach out to make friends with, to pull into your life, to get close to learn and ask the questions, to become curious on how did their mind develop that it caused them or allowed them or attracted the life that they've created, if it's something that you want to pursue or move toward. So that's going to be a fun thing that we're going to do. But let's get back to curiosity. How do you develop curiosity? I mean, how do you get yourself interested in a rock or in the sky or in your neuroscience? Well, maybe a first good step is just to think about what you are interested in. Maybe write down, what am I interested in? And you might have a list and go, if I thought about it, I'm interested, or I used to be interested in baseball. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a baseball player. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to play baseball. Except for when the sports season changed and I wanted to play football, basketball, soccer. Not really. That wasn't big when I was a kid, but we kicked the ball around. Kickball, foursquare, dodgeball, all those kinds of balls, anything with a ball. I remember when my son was born, Tom, his first word wasn't mom or dad. It was ball. He could say basketball, football, baseball, basketball, all the different kinds of balls before he said mom or dad, I think. At least that's my memory. I should become curious of that. Anyway, so if you think about what you think about, that's what I really want you to do. I want you to develop that curiosity around what you think about. And so if you think about, what am I curious about? What am I interested in? Am I interested in books? Which kind of books? What books? Am I interested in art or music? What kind of music? If it's the music, is it the melody? Is it the words? Do I remember words of songs? Am I interested in nature? I'm looking out the window here, and in the back here, there's all these trees. There are these sort of red-barked trees. I'm not sure what kind they are. I'm recording from Austin, Texas right now. And there's a creek there. Is the water flowing? I don't know. I could go check it out. I could become curious. Are you interested in nature? Are you interested in astronomy? You're looking up at the skies. I've got this on my phone. I've got this app called Skyview Light, where I can point it at the sky and at different planets or stars up there. And it tells you what they are. It's kind of cool. You could see Saturn. I think Saturn's out. Mars, Venus is out right now. Or, it's kind of funny. I'm not a jewelry kind of person, but Matt, for his 30th birthday party, he gave everyone the guys only, not the girls. The girls got like a keychain. The guys got this gold necklace. solid gold. It's really heavy. I don't even know how to put it on. I couldn't put it on. I mean, it took me like 10 minutes to put this thing on. I know girls know how to do this. There's that little clasp thing here. And so when I went like this, I'm trying to do it like I can try to do it now. I got curious. I'm looking in the mirror, trying to get it. My hand, they kept going the opposite direction. I couldn't figure out how to put this thing on. I don't know how women do it, but somehow they do it, right? Let's see if I can do it. I don't know that I can, but I got curious about gold. Like, is this really real? If it were real, would I be able to hold it, or would it be too heavy? It is very heavy. It's not like a plastic thing. I don't know what it's made out of. I don't think it's real, because that would have been just too much. But all the guys wore these things. But I got curious on how to put that in. And just thinking about that word curious and what you can be curious about. I don't know. I got curious about the stuff I was eating in Las Vegas. I didn't eat that well. Well, I guess I did. I just ate too much. It was really good food. But I got curious about, why am I doing this? I had this idea that I'm going to lose weight and get myself back into shape so I could run faster now, because I'm out there and I'm slower than dirt. I don't like that at all. But I want to get back, and I have this sort of secret goal that, if you're listening, it's probably not very secret. But as I've told you before, some of you might know that I'm Hungarian. And I want to go to Hungary. I want to go to Budapest, and I want to run the Budapest Marathon. But I want to just run it to finish it. I want to run it and win my age group, not the overall thing. Did you see in Chicago, some dude ran 2 hours and like 34 seconds, like 2 hours flat for a marathon? That is insane. I think that was 4:23 per mile for 26 miles and 385 yards. That is really, really fast. I wish I could do that. I'm not going to do that, but I do want to win the Budapest Marathon age group. But I got to lose some weight and get back into shape to be able to do that. So I shouldn't go to Las Vegas and shouldn't eat everything I've been eating. But I'm going to have a fast runner on my podcast. It's probably going to be Johnny Gray. He's a friend of mine. He was an assistant coach with me at Pepperdine. He's been on 4 Olympic teams. He was the American record holder in the 800. He still might be. I don't know, actually. He ran like 1:41 for a half mile, which is really fast. But we're going to have him on and have him talk a little bit about, how his mind developed, that championship mindset developed. It's going to be kind of cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, today is Terry Schroeder's birthday. Terry was an Olympian, I think, either 4-time or 6-time Olympian in water polo. And he's my chiropractor, a naturopath doctor in Agoura, California. He's the head water polo coach at Pepperdine University. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Terry. Like, you're going to be listening to this. But he did agree to be on my podcast too. So we'll talk with him. He's a brilliant guy. He's like the Michael Jordan, or was the Michael Jordan of water polo, voted the greatest water polo player in the world several times. He won silver medals, lost to a really cool country. Hungary beat them for the gold medal, I think twice. Sorry about that, Terry. And then he was captain of the team. He was the coach of the team. He was the flag bearer for the Beijing Olympics. He's the model for the Olympic statue at the Coliseum at USC. He was a member of the U.S. representative to the International Olympic Committee. Just a brilliant person. And I think we figured out we probably played Pee Wee League baseball together when we were 10 years old in Santa Barbara. So that's kind of cool too. He's going to be on the show. And then Lauren LaHave Slocum. She's like the female Tony Robbins. She does Life and Wealth Mastery. And in fact, she did my very first Life and Wealth Mastery and does her own programs now. In fact, she's going to be talking about a program, a women's program that she's got going on that all my women friends, listeners, you might consider going to, because Lauren is off the charts. Amazing. Great speaker, energetic. She also is huge in, I think, Juice Plus, one of those MLMs where it's crazy. These people make like millions of dollars being early, being great leaders, being great connectors. We're going to hear from her. We're going to hear from who I think is perhaps one of the greatest medical hypnotherapists anywhere, from New York, my friend Lisa. She agreed this morning that she's going to be on, and just on and on and on. We're going to have a great group of people that are going to be on, and I want you to really get curious about this. I want you to, in preparation for this, I want you to think about the things that you think about. I want you to remember that if you want to change your life, if you want to change your personal reality, you are going to have to change your personality. And your personality consists of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. So if you want to change your life, you've got to change you. Most people, they want to change their personal reality. Their life has the same personality, and it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work, because research shows that 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts we had yesterday. So if you're having the same thoughts, those same thoughts lead to the same choices or options. And those produce the same behaviors or actions. Those actions, the same ones, produce the same experiences, and those same experiences then create the exact same feelings. And your feelings then produce the same thoughts. And so it's not a surprise that 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts we had the same before. And your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemistry, your hormones, and even your genetic makeup stay the same because you are the same. So the only way to change your life, is to change you. You've got to have new thoughts, different thoughts. Those different thoughts will then lead to different choices or options, producing some different actions or behaviors. And then you'll have some different experiences. And the end result of the different experiences is a unique and different feeling. And those feelings then will produce additional new thoughts. And that process is called evolution. And then you can change your life. And so getting curious about how the mind works, getting curious about what you're curious about, getting curious about how people that have created Raditude kind of lives, how their mind developed, I think is going to help you change your life to create the life that you deserve, the one that you have designed, that are thinking about, that are dreaming about, that have asked for, and that life is going to become magical. The one other thing that I want to say in this kind of short episode is that it's important that you believe that you are deserving of a better life, and of an amazing life, of a Raditude life, a Smithitude, Brownitude, Johnsonitude, Billyitude, Sarahitude, whatever you call it. That you are more than enough, that you are worthy, that you are loving, lovable, and loved. So this week, before we start our series of amazing people coming on board. Get curious. Get curious about life. Get curious about what you're curious about. Get curious about the concept of curiosity. Look it up. Google it. Look it up in a dictionary. Find out what curiosity is. Find out, how do I develop curiosity? And let's work toward that, making your life the life that you've always dreamt of. So with that, we're going to end this short little segment, and we'll see you next week with Matt Morrow, Vegas Matt. Bye for now.